Yeah, we've all been here before. But what led me to this point, you ask? Oh hey, didn't see there. Come back here for the flashback. I know it's weird starting an interaction like that, but you never know when you're gonna reflect back on something. Anyway, since you're here, you wanna watch an anime together? I heard this one's pretty good. Yep, I came down with a nasty case of video, and only by being hyper self-aware could I ever atone for that, but man, my foresight's impeccable! Anime tropes, the gift that keeps on giving. I've mentioned it before, but while almost any type of medium has tropes, whether that be a game being artificially fluffed up to make its runtime longer, or I would answer for a live-action TV show if I watched more than Hell's Kitchen. What, I said it before, if I'm not watching anime, I'm watching something a lot like it. Everything has tropes, but anime is a bit different. Maybe it's because how a lot of anime build off of each other, inspiration can kind of breed tropes. I mean, hey, if it's an aspect that people like in story A, why wouldn't they like it in story B, story C, and damn it, now it's just a standard practice now, isn't it? But sometimes it feels less like something that is enjoyed between authors and fans of different stories, and sometimes it's more like a plot hole. Do you ever see a story that follows someone who's pretty much, if not literally a child, and you see them in life or death fights, traveling the world, or getting into so much mischief, and the only thing you can think of is, where the hell are the parents?
You gotta get here, the demon army's invading.
Dude, it's like 7 p.m. My mom would kill me if I tried to sneak out right now. God, we all can't have dead parents. Sometimes, it's explained in a plot like maybe the premise revolves around the parents being missing for one reason or the other, or maybe they're just casually written to be in a position where they are hardly on screen so some wacky and tragic stuff can happen. I mean, I get it, it's hard to justify people so young doing so much, but it's at least something I question whenever it's relevant. Another trope that is sometimes paired with it, but not always, why are the protagonists just so airheaded? Sometimes it's endearing, other times it can be frustrating. Personally, I almost never mind it because if I'm watching a show for the point of like complete shallow hype, I don't want someone who questions the meaning of life spearheading it. With my power to transform into someone stronger and my philosophy degree, you're going down.
But you aren't transforming.
Oh really? Because I think humans are in a constant state of change. I can understand the reasoning for it, like maybe they need to be pretty aloof so they never question their power scaling because like if he's questioning why he can punch a city in half, I'm gonna start questioning it, and that isn't something I necessarily want all the time. Honestly, I just wish that side characters or characters not meant to be that strong or like that, because it would be hilarious. Did you hear of someone who went to our old high school, kicked an entire wall off the school building? I remember when I was his age, I would steal soda from the vending machines. Generations never change. I'm sorry, someone did what? Or sometimes there'll be a character that just, no way someone like this could ever exist in the real world. They are just way too cool or way too dumb or way too eccentric. Sometimes when writers go too far into writing an outrageous character, it can not really have that many negative consequences. I mean, isn't one of the points of fiction to not really be connected to reality? I don't watch anime to see the guy I bumped into while shopping just doing his taxes or anything. Yeah, it can be annoying sometimes or eye-rolly or just harm the experience more than it helps, but that comes down to how they come off. I mean, a big draw for some of my favorite anime is how realistic the character writing is or how down-to-earth they feel, but I adore the other side of the spectrum. There are just a lot of larger-than-life characters that I find amazing. Wait a second, I think I'm talking about tropes wrong. That was a whole lot of not insulting I just did. Oh, one thing I see in a lot of different shows is when there's an important or serious moment and the opening starts playing. Wait, that's not even close to a bad thing. No, that's awesome! Which kind of swings me into my entire point of this topic being addressed again. I feel like tropes have this deeply negative stigma that, of course, I haven't exactly been trying to challenge, but there are a lot of amazing tropes in any medium as well, quite like the tropes found in anime. To run with the example that I just mentioned, the opening is supposed to be the theme for the entire section of the show that you're on, those 12 or 24 or 50 or however many episodes. That song is the song for the show for however much assigned time there is for it. And you usually hear it every episode unless the episode cuts the opening out or you are a heathen and you skip the openings, and if that's the case, there's a cop car waiting right outside. Hey, if they ask you why you're being arrested, just tell them you murdered me. Opinions on anime aren't quite illegal yet, but we're working on it. But when the opening plays, it almost feels like the entire arc has come full circle. Now, just because the opening doesn't play in a scene doesn't mean it means less. It honestly just comes down to the studio's choices, but when they choose to do it, Oh my god, the sheer uncontained hype, it makes me want to go confront my own problems. My student debt can't even touch me right now, the Gurren Gun opening's playing. Okay, to keep the momentum going, how about anime transformations? Yeah, they can have a negative impact because when there is a transformation, it kinda becomes a crutch to the main character, or it can take away a lot of urgency of when the character isn't in whatever form. But honestly, I stopped listening to myself 42 words ago. Look at how cool Black Asta is. It's nice getting a visual sign of a character's growth as well, and it can usually be combined with a story-based reason leading up to a big event. Like Naruto's tail forms, we know he had the 9 tails within him, so we saw him go from 1 tail to 4 tails to 6 tails to, okay, I guess no tails, but we saw progression and had a vague idea of an end goal. We just had no idea what that end goal could have been. But all this talk about some tropes being kinda positive makes me think of something else. Yeah, anime has its tropes, and there's a huge stigma that anime is a lesser experience because of its tropes, because some of them are annoying, and while anime has a lot by themselves, a lot of other mediums have similar tropes that get waved off because, hey, it's not animated, who cares, it's more artistic, yeah, fan service in anime is weird, like why do people have to trip and fall into the weirdest positions? Oh god, I don't think my legs should be bending like this. Anime has those scenes. Yeah, very uncomfortable. It can even really harm the experience of a solid show. I agree, but movies and other TV shows have literal sex scenes, and I don't have enough awards to give. But hey, there wasn't a pen involved in making this, so it's fine. It's artsy. I mean, I understand fan service is shallow, the word's right there, fan service, but can we just have a lot less horny overall? I'm sick of having to check my copy of Garfield to make sure there's no sins today. Yeah, I kinda tried to do that whole self-aware thing, but ended up defending some of the most controversial anime tropes. Not all of them, some of them are still very weird. But I know, I look kinda stupid, but don't worry, I brought an umbrella. I left it in a different shower.